Welcome to The Explainer. Let's jump right in. If you've ever stopped to marvel at how your body just, well, works without you having to consciously think about it, you're in for a treat today. We're exploring the human body as this absolutely brilliant self-regulating machine working behind the scenes to keep you alive. We're going to really focus on a crucial concept called homeostasis and look at it through the larger, fascinating lens of human physiology.
Here is our roadmap for today. First up, form versus function. Second, the goal of homeostasis. Third, the master control systems. Fourth, visceral systems in action. And finally, number 5, the ultimate balancing act.
Section 1. Form versus function. Anatomy and physiology.
Okay, so when we look at the medical sciences, we hear these two terms thrown around together all the time, anatomy and physiology. But they actually represent two completely different yet deeply connected concepts. Anatomy? That's the scientific study of the body's structures. It's the form, the map of the territory, the bones, the organs, the cells. But physiology? Physiology is the scientific study of how those body structures actually work to support life. It's the function, the action. You literally can't fully appreciate one without understanding the other, because as we'll see, form always dictates function. And honestly, the eyelid is a brilliant example of how microscopic anatomical arrangements perfectly allow for a specific function. Anatomically, it's just this thin flap of tissue, right? But physiologically, its function is absolutely vital to your vision and your safety. It snaps down to clear away dust particles, and then instantaneously slides back up so you can see again. This incredibly fast action is only made possible by a very precise microscopic arrangement of nerves and muscles. The physical form of your eyelid is literally tailor-made for its quick, sweeping function. Section 2. The goal of homeostasis, maintaining balance.
So we know physiology is all about function, but what's the ultimate goal of all these functions? Well, the answer is homeostasis. Homeostasis is a steady state of internal balance that your body works to maintain by constantly monitoring and adjusting conditions. Now, it's absolutely crucial to understand that this isn't just some static, resting state where you're doing nothing. No way. It is a relentless, highly active process. Your body is continuously, and I mean continuously, monitoring variables like your pulse, your respiration rate, your hormone levels, making microscopic adjustments just to keep everything perfectly stable. Take a look at this number, 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. This is your body's Goldilocks zone. It's not just a random baseline. It's the exact temperature at which your enzymes, your cells, and your metabolic processes function at their absolute best. Your body literally goes to great lengths to stay right around this exact mark. But what happens when that balance is threatened? Say you're out in the blazing sun, or maybe you catch a bug, and your temperature spikes to 102.5 degrees. This is a direct disruption of homeostasis. Your body immediately registers this as a major threat and springs right into action. It triggers a whole cascade of physiological responses, like sweating and increasing blood flow to your skin, all working desperately to dump that excess heat and restore your normal temperature. Basically, your body is fighting tooth and nail to get back to equilibrium. Section 3. The master control systems, command centers. Now, to coordinate all of these massive body-wide responses, somebody's got to be in charge, right? We have two primary control systems, the nervous system and the endocrine system. They both manage homeostasis, but they do it in completely different ways. The nervous system communicates using electrical impulses and neurotransmitters. Its response is lightning fast. We're talking milliseconds, but the effects are usually pretty short-term. Think of yanking your hand away from a hot stove. The endocrine system, on the other hand, communicates by releasing chemical hormones right into your blood. This is a much slower process, taking minutes or even hours to really kick in, but the effects are long-lasting. Together, they give us both the rapid reflexes and the long-term regulation we need to stay perfectly balanced.
Section 4. Visceral systems in action, maintenance crew.
Okay, so we know who's issuing the commands. Let's look at the maintenance crew executing them. Our major visceral organs team up to maintain that homeostatic balance. The cardiovascular system is your transport network for nutrients and gases, while also helping regulate pH and temperature. Then you've got the respiratory system bringing in the oxygen we need, dumping the carbon dioxide, and again, helping with pH. The digestive system is breaking down food so nutrients can actually be absorbed while getting rid of solid waste. And the urinary system? It's filtering your blood, balancing fluids and electrolytes, and keeping your blood pressure in check. Every single one of these systems is working in total concert to deliver what you need, remove what you don't, and keep your internal state steady.
But here's the thing. For these organs to do their jobs, they need the right anatomical space. Remember, form supports function. And that brings us to the crucial role of body cavities. The ventral cavity, for example, houses your lungs, heart, stomach, and intestines. Why is it there? Specifically, to allow for significant changes in organ size and shape. Think about it. Your lungs need physical room to expand every time you take a deep breath. Your stomach needs to stretch out after a big dinner. These cavities make sure your organs can perform these essential, life-supporting functions without crushing their neighbors.
And you know, homeostasis isn't just about those visceral organs we usually think of. Check out this wild number, 75%. Roughly 75% of the ATP energy used during muscle contraction is actually released as heat. What does that mean? It means your muscular system is a massive player in temperature regulation. When you're freezing, your muscles involuntarily contract. You shiver. That shivering generates the heat needed to warm you up and bring you back to homeostasis. So even the anatomical systems we think are just for movement are fundamentally tied to keeping your body in balance.
Section 5. The ultimate balancing act. Biological symphony. When we tie all these complex systems together, looking at the everyday life of the human machine, it really is like a biological symphony. Anatomy provides the structured framework, right? The instruments. Physiology drives the life-supporting functions, which is the music that's actually being played. Your master controllers, those nervous and endocrine systems, are the conductors, keeping an ear on the internal environment. And your visceral systems are out there in the orchestra, delivering, filtering, and regulating. The entire setup has one singular, beautiful goal: your survival through homeostasis. Every breath you take, every single heartbeat, every shiver, it's all an integrated part of this unseen biological symphony, keeping you alive. So the big takeaway here is that you are constantly adapting. Right now, at this very second, as you watch this explainer, your body is making millions of invisible adjustments to keep you alive and perfectly balanced. It's wild to think about. It really leaves us to marvel at exactly what unseen tweaks our bodies are making right under our noses. What is your physiology balancing at this exact moment? Ponder that for a second. And I hope this perspective helps you appreciate the incredible, self-regulating machine you live in every single day.